Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Myst III Exile. You know, there's something kind of funny about the pause menu, and this is becoming more of a gripe. I'm going to start griping about like every game that you pause at when the audio doesn't mute. But particularly in this game, the sound effects are so important. It's really weird to be on the pause menu and hearing some of the sound effects, like the swimming of that fish, squid-like creature, but not hearing some of the other sound effects like the chirping of the animals. So I would say that probably boils down to a bug. I think we are pretty close to solving this island, because I think all this island really evolves into is freeing a bird. That how Atreus designed this world so that the bird would always get trapped and his sons would have to free it is beyond me. Let's see. Until we get to some more pieces of this book thief's journal, which that's all I'm gonna call them by. We've read all of this. It's not been in order, and I could certainly see somebody, if they were playing the game themselves, wanting to just go through this and read everything in order again. And clearly there's a numbering system here that we're supposed to be learning, but unless you kind of have all the pages, it's questionable whether this actually converts into this symbol or not. And without knowing that, then it becomes questionable what this symbol means too. So there's some gaps in our knowledge. As for Atreus's book, if we go through here, I'm fairly certain read everything except for the last final chapter. So let's finish that. We're not close towards the end. There's still the final island, and the final island will undoubtedly have some puzzles to them themselves, but we are getting there. We're close. Alright, so last part of Atreus's book, unless we find some more part of Atreus's journal. And this is not a linking book, it's just a journal, which I'm not sure why you wouldn't. I guess linking books, you really can't have any special writing in them. Otherwise, like even a single bit of ink or word seems to change how well the linking book works to create an age. And I guess there's a question in my head, like there are definitely multiple Myst linking books. So does that mean in the first writing of the first Myst linking book, all other copies have to be exact carbon copies, and do every copy of the Myst linking books in different ages somehow stabilize and strengthen the existence of the Myst Island? Or can different books be slightly different, and will they take you to slightly different versions of Myst Islands if they're slightly different? I think they probably would. But that kind of has nothing to do with this right now. That's just part of the problem, is there's so much magicalness happening that doesn't get explained in kind of a bad way for the Myst series. They try to explain it, but then they fail miserably at that also eventually in the series. But something needed to be a bit more solid and explained. Whereas if you think of a game like Skyrim, they tell you pretty clearly there's these Daedric princes, there's these gods, there's these magical forces, there's these elders, they have these magical scrolls called Elder Scrolls. They're basic things we already understand, like werewolves and vampires and just orcs and bears and things like that. 93.10.28. I cannot believe I did not see it before. All this time I've been struggling to describe the perfect age for Jenny. I have considered and rejected several underlying concepts which I felt might best set the course for their future if I alone should determine how Dunny civilization will grow. In my own way, I have become as egotistical as my father. In truth, I owe this realization to Catherine. Sensing my indecision about the new age, she led me on a walk around Dunny. Salvaging efforts were well underway, with teams of people scouring the ruined harbor district. As I watched my Dunny kinsmen deciding which parts of their culture to retain, I realized they do not need me to determine their future. They are quite capable of setting up its course by themselves. I was questioning whether they were capable or not, regardless of what age I write. This realization has opened my eyes to the best way to approaching my task. I no longer need to worry about which underlying concept, energy, nature, or dynamics. And so we've done energy, that was the electricity island. We're on the nature island, and the dynamics island, or the ball island. I should make prevalent in the age. Rather, I should strive to include them all. I must write a balance of systems into the descriptive book. Maybe there's a difference between linking books and descriptive books, enough so that the Dunny people will constantly be challenged to attain their ultimate potential, as grandmother often pointed out to me when we spoke about ages back on Myst. Balanced systems stimulate civilizations. And again, this is highlighted, so this is probably an important phrase. All the long chapters in this book have had a highlighted phrase, one for each island. At last I feel I am ready to begin writing the age. Indeed, I am eager to begin. I've already come up with the perfect name. I know grandmother would have loved it. Of course, Catherine could tell the moment I turned to her that I had finally found my starting point. I babbled on excitedly for some time before I noticed it, the smile she was hiding. When I saw it enough to grow suspicious, she handed me one of my oldest age books. She must have picked it up when she linked back to Myst. Seeing the name Janin embellished on the book cover, I could only shake my head. The one age I never got around to revisiting was the one that might have helped me the most. Janin being the island, the Tusk Island we started. And so this is how this whole story happened, is he, at the end of this, revisited Janin, and that's how the book thief got out. How foolish was I to have completely forgotten it. So even Atris fully admits he has forgotten all of these tutorial islands in Janin. I think after I have finished this work, I should take one final trip, if only to help restore an old fool's memory. And so that's the end of Atris's. So he totally did forget it. Which, that's ridiculous, to forget an entire civilization that you created. We've got some more glowing tree plants. Let's hop back into the game now. There's definitely a disconnect here. This is where we need to electrocute these roots, and we'll open this pitcher plant and free the bird. So we just need to get this to fill up with water first. So we've got the electric squid. It's never a smooth transition though. Kinda wish it was. But I mean, whatever, this game is an old game. You can't really complain too much about these types of things. And this looks like this is a video. So let's see this.
This morning I woke up.
We kind of needed a video.
Picture Tamara's face. The little line at the corner of her lip that pulls her whole mouth down when she smiles, the flutter in her eyelashes. I tried so hard to picture her in my mind, put her down on paper as if that might bring her back. I couldn't do it. Atris, I'm not you.
So yeah, we kind of needed a reminder that, oh yeah, here's our book thief, and he's a victim of the children again, but right now he is also acting as the antagonist. This one looks like it needs to grow further out, which would mean we would need light, which, how are we gonna get light down this way? It almost feels like this entire tree trunk might bloom. And foliage might go everywhere. Is there anything else around here? The only thing I could wonder about is if it's possible that the laser way at the top is somehow going to manage to reach all the way over here so we can hit it and burst this bubble. Because we're right there. That's all we need to do is get a laser to hit that, but there's just so much foliage. Unless we're swinging via that. No, we're not swinging via that. We've got to find a way over to that. That would work. But how do we get there? How do we get to that position? We gotta figure this out. I might need to move the fish back. That might be it. But if I'm gonna do that, I want to have a good reason first. Like if I moved it back here, it would probably just light up this area. And I don't see a reason why that area needs to be lit up. Which way am I going? This way? Just keep walking this direction and hope that we're going in the right direction. Here's the pitcher plant. And the bird is still in it. How far is too far is the question. Because I think walking this direction, yeah, at this point I've probably exited away from any puzzle down there. Yeah, that does not seem right. So this seems too far. Unless I really am supposed to go all the way back up to the top, which I don't believe is true. That would not make really any sense at all. Because we've seen the laser thing, we just need to figure out how to get to it. I guess I need to keep an eye out to see if there's a split or a secret path. And I assume we're not electrocuting the bird when we electrocute the plant. You can hit this. What does that do for us? Really just lights up the painting. There's still... here's something. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, so we've got a whole puzzle here to solve. I think I've gone in a different direction too. Right. And I can't click on this, move anything on that, so we found one plant here to move. And we've got a plant here that doesn't seem like it does anything. See the sun, you see this plant. I don't see how this plant rotates. Unless I'm supposed to get it out of the way somehow. Which might be the case. Oh, there's a zoom in spot. Okay. So I can hit that and light that up. I can hit that one and light that one up. Or I can hit that one and light. No, it looks like I just have two options. That was more difficult than it should have been. And now... okay. So that... I think... I'm not sure what I did. There must have been a fork in the road that I missed. And so... still trying to get that one lit up. We've got this one and this one lit up. So I'm gonna hit this and get this set up, because I'm fairly certain that's right. Okay. And this one this one reflected over there, that one reflected where? You saw a platform extended, but where is that platform? Is it down further this way? Yes, it is. Alright. So we couldn't get to this point before. Now we're going to climb on these mushrooms as steps. So they must be pretty strong. Let's still be a little careful and make sure we find anything in case there's a couple more pieces of the journal, which I totally would believe. Alright. We've got this. So this is ready to be targeted and can't be adjusted at all. It's just pointing in the right direction. Notice how on the Tusk overworld you did this same kind of puzzle with sound, and then they did it with light in this world. So it's somewhat similar while not being the exact same boring action. Okay. My hope is that is center enough into where it needs to be, because I suspect I don't get an opportunity to point this in the direction I want to, with it having light behind it. I suppose the only thing we could test is just looking to see if there's anything. And see, I guess we need the secondary plant because these purple plants don't magnify it, and is what I'm guessing. So we made it in here. Now we walk out, looking around. A modern day development of this game, you probably could have programmed all of these transitions so that the player just clicked forward and the camera decided to pan and tilt towards looking at anything important. You could do a lot of really subtle tricks that would have the players like me looking at the right thing and ignoring the unimportant things, which certainly might have helped in a lot of scenarios. Right, so there's this fork, and the fork is here. That's what we were missing before. And this one doesn't seem like you can get behind it. But we can get behind this one, so let's just see if we can redirect from that to something else. No, you're limited in your vision to just that point, so that's not the one to move. So we'll see if maybe this is the one to move. See, yeah, that does point to that. So I bounced it a couple times, and now the shocking squid is shocking the plant, which is freeing the bird. Which, yay, I suppose. I think that means we are done for this lower section, and it probably means that the puzzles in this world are done in such a way that you have to do them in order, whereas the dynamic puzzles and the electric puzzles had more of an opportunity to be in any order that the player really wanted to do them. You know what's funny though is we still really don't. We're helping the bird, but we don't know how that works or improves our position at all. So we're helping for just out of the kindness of our own heart, pretty much, because we still don't feel like we are anywhere closer towards getting to the book or getting the symbol. Where is he? I don't think these would work anymore. Yep. So we're just climbing up. We've used animals, but not been excessively cruel to them. We trapped one and then freed him. Then we freed another character. Kind of the running theme here is we've freed a bunch of animals. What I didn't see was an elevator that pointed to a third location. So I'm crossing my fingers that we've just done everything and we kind of need to just reach a specific spot and look at the nest. And that's kind of all we need to do. Because if there is another elevator over here and a whole nother collection of things to do, we didn't get that far. Wouldn't really be surprised if the bird decided to just pick me up and lift me. So, alright. This one and this one are the only two. Yeah. I was misinterpreting what I was seeing, I think. Yeah. There's one here. There's one there. And I don't see anything else. Of course we could leave. I don't think clicking that changed anything. But there's no reason to leave. We're closer now than ever before to the solution. I guess I'm walking back this way to where we started. And then if we come over here, we've got the baby bird and the mom. And see, that's just a... We did it. We got him back to where we wanted, to his mother. And they're chirping. The question is the chirping all we needed to move the vines, or what were we doing? Like, we really are in a weird position where it's like, why did we do that, any of that? Doesn't feel like these vines have moved. Doesn't feel like that would have helped us in any way. In the end, I still see this. I still see this in a book. So what's the connection? What were we trying to do? We freed the bird. Got the mama bird. We've got the baby bird. I haven't really seen any indication that there's any other baby birds. I don't think we're going to use fruit to get the creature to move around. It does feel like we are going to use fruit, though. Doesn't it? I don't get it, though. How could we possibly use fruit to get that creature that we dealt with to move up higher? Like, it would have to go up really, really high. There's no plants that look like they would grow any further. There's nothing here. It looks like it connects. If this was supposed to be an audio puzzle, it doesn't make a lot of sense. You see that? There's no real path that way. I think I may have to just look up a walkthrough at this point, because yeah, the only thing that even seems slightly off is the fact that we're hearing a lot of audio. Otherwise, it feels like we've done everything, or we've just screwed up in such a miserable fashion where we can't. We've missed an entire extra pathway. If we were supposed to move the character with that loves to eat the fruit and makes the fruit grow bigger, I would have almost guaranteed that what would have happened is the bird would have picked him up and brought him into a new starting location. These walls are covered in maybe some fruit-like species. Right. We've got that electricity sound, but that doesn't really mean anything. And we go down this way. I'm just trying to listen for audio. This won't work anymore. More fungus on the walls. This only goes down this direction. And we can't cross and go back in that direction at all. Like, this whole section's been blocked off permanently forever. That really only leaves us. Had a sound effect there for a second. It only leaves us this direction. And going down further. Going down further. Did I fail to trigger something, perhaps because I did the wrong thing? Maybe the way I triggered the release of the bird from the pitcher plant was not acceptable for the programming. This way, this way, this way. This way. This way. Over here. So that one, yeah, unless I'm supposed to be shining it there, which, see, that starts to shine when you get close and that one doesn't. Yeah, I really only have two options. And then when I'm behind this one, is there perhaps some plant that I don't see that would react to the light besides that one? No? See, I don't think this game could be complicated enough for there to be a scenario where you would chase an animal with the light and use that light to... Oh man, it's been 8 minutes over. Unfortunately, I think I need a little bit of a hint, and this is the case certainly for a lot of modern games where you just, there should have been a hint system in this, and clearly there isn't. And yeah, I hear the electricity, but there's nothing I can do about it. This is burst. Walking down this way just goes to that. Walking down this way just goes to this. Yeah, it's possible I'm missing something rather obvious. Walk this way. Walk this way. Look around. Oh, I do believe there is a second pathway. Okay, well, that means there's more to look at, so I won't quite yet look at a walkthrough, which is nice because I don't want to have to cheat to play this game since I've already played it once. and I think I'm smart enough to play Myst 3 without any help. I was almost smart enough to play Myst 1 without any help, although that music puzzles at the end certainly did hurt. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.